wrestling that I grew up watching was crazy. In a main event, in a cage, you're going to get blood. This was no joke.
The mindset was pretty barbaric, and it wasn't the way it is today with wrestling boots from Santa Claus and going to wrestling school.
There was a code back in the day, and it was beat into it. We'd have sayings like, I'd rather you knock my teeth down my throat than hit me with a popcorn punch. You know, if you're going to hit me.
That was the old school. Things were done with the beer and popcorn at an auditorium, a smaller venue.
As a matter of fact, at one time, it was important that dates were booked on the 1st and the 15th of the month, because at that time, the promoters would think, okay, that's when the welfare checks came out.
Many of the smaller regional wrestling territories throughout the country at that time just focused on running wrestling events and running their TV programs in their home base.
Everyone accepted this territorial aspect. If one individual thought maybe they were going to come into another territory, then everybody ganged up on that one promoter and would drive them out of business.
Vince McMahon Sr. was in charge of the East Coast territory, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
This was a great territory to have in this system. You know, you had a mega market, he had mega stars, you know, and a Bruno Sammartino. He had great venues to work out of, like Madison Square Garden, and he was able to parlay that into, you know, quite a lucrative operation with the WWF.
Vince McMahon Jr. bought the WWF from his father in late 1982, turned it into the WWF.
When I bought my dad's business, he would have never have sold it to me, nor would his other stockholders, if they knew what my plans were. My plans were to compete with everybody else in the world who had vast more resources than I did at the time. So we began attacking these territories.
That's the day that nobody called Vince the Junior Vinny anymore. He became Vince.
I wanted middle-class America to be a part of WWE. That's who I wanted to appeal to, a much broader audience than anyone had ever promoted to. And in order to do that, you had to have a more sophisticated product.
For Vince Sr. He gave me the name Hulk Hogan, had a great run there as a bad guy, and then decided to go do a movie with Stallone called Rocky III.
And when the movie came out, he became an international star, was then the good guy.
Vince McMahon Sr. was not happy about it, so I was fired.
My dad's view of things at that time was the same standard view of all the other promoters, and that is that a big man would not be an attraction as far as a babyface. Good guy. I had a different point of view, and my view was one of, I need someone who's larger than life. I need someone who is a comic book type hero, and Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, fit the bill perfectly.
He basically stood for the same things as Superman: truth, justice, and the American way. And Hulk Hogan was trained, say your prayers and take your vitamins, and that resonated with the kids. The kids wanted to aspire to be like him. The men wanted to be him, and the women wanted to be with him.
Vince McMahon